Hey everyone, and welcome to the Nightly News. My name is Zach Klink, and today we have a packed show for you, so let's get to it. March Madness is right around the corner, but before the Paladins basketball team gets to the big dance, we have to make it to the tournament. For plenty of moments like these, you can watch the dance with an ESPN Plus subscription. The Paladins will take on VMI on Saturday at 8 p.m. in the quarterfinals of the SoCon tournament. We'll have more on who will hopefully be leading the team to the tournament later in sports. Good news on the COVID front, numbers continue to go down here on campus. This week, 25% of students were tested, 384 in total, and the testing resulted in 7 positives, leaving us with a 0.78% positivity rate. We are still operating in the yellow phase, but we are trending towards purple and more on-campus activities. There is now a third vaccine on the market. Just last week, Johnson & Johnson got emergency approval for their vaccine. It's being shipped as we speak. The company is delivering more than 20 million doses this month, with 100 million doses set to be delivered in the first half of this year. A new initiative led by 2 psych majors might just lead to better mental health. Jackie Faustin has this story about the rollout of the Paladin Peer Support, a program designed to foster community on campus through authentic peer mentorship.
Paladin Peers is a new mentorship program that bridges the student body to the counseling center. Furman University junior psychology majors Sarah Briere and Chloe Rondeau recognized the importance of mental health on Furman's campus.
I went to the counseling center over a year ago with this idea because I led a similar program at my high school and I didn't see anything at Furman that was similar to this. And I really saw a need for peer-to-peer mentoring because the counseling center is just so full and so busy that I felt we needed some other initiative to kind of help with the emotional issues that arise during college. Paladin Peer Support is basically one-on-one mentoring about emotional wellness and mindfulness. So our members meet with students. The student brings what they would like to discuss. So that could be issues with sleep, issues with organization, issues with friends, conflict, and then the Paladin Peer Support member makes some sort of a lesson plan basically and goes over it with the student.
College presents itself with a lot of unique struggles and difficult struggles, and being away from home or having rigorous course loads as students do at Furman, it can get very overwhelming very quickly. And so I think we just saw a need for students to be able to connect with students through these kinds of experiences.
Paladin Peers will be available before the end of the semester. All of the 12 peers have already been trained and are ready to go.
You've heard it here. Make yourself a priority this semester. With Nightly News, I'm Jackie Faustin.
Be sure to look out for the promotional flyers coming soon regarding the official Paladin Peers start date. Recently, the Furman Counseling Center announced that they have introduced a new crisis hotline available for students. Here's Tom Baez with some additional information.
It's a 24/7 crisis line that is it's an extension of the counseling center. And the way you access it, you call the counseling center number 864-294-3031, and you get bit number 3, and it connects you to the crisis line. A crisis counselor will say, this is the Furman Counseling Center crisis line, and then they'll work with you.
Baez also mentioned how easily accessible the hotline is. Simply just call the number anywhere and anytime at 864-294-3031, extension 3. The Furman Office of Innovation and Entrepreneurship has been very busy since its creation in 2018. Our own Anthony Zito decided to take a look into what they're up to.
Anthony Herrera has been leading the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Office here at Furman, and since the office began a few years ago, they've started programs to help student entrepreneurs with their dreams.
We've established about 8 high-impact experiences for students, right? So we have a summer business and innovation and entrepreneurship boot camp for students who are non-business majors. We have a entrepreneur in residence program where we have an expert entrepreneur who is coaching and mentoring students who have ideas and new ventures. We have a designer in residence program that's teaching students design thinking principles. We have an entrepreneurship association for students to be around like-minded individuals, innovation council, which is students who are more innovative, not necessarily having an entrepreneurial venture, but they want to create innovation within organizations or in their community. And then we have the Paladin Pitch Competition, and they will be competing for up to $10,000 in cash and prizes.
There is even a club for entrepreneurs, Fusea. Brooke Dominiak is not only a Fusea member, but she is also participating in the Paladin Pitch Competition.
So my app, it's called To Go Bros. It's an on-campus food delivery app, so students can get their on-campus meals delivered straight to them. So what you would do is you would just download the app, you would link your student ID card to it, and you'd create your own student profile. And then what you would do after that is you would just place your food, whether it was from the P-Den, the dining hall, or the library cafe, and then someone just brings it to you, and that's it.
Thanks, Anthony. Maybe I can get an idea funded as well. Next week, there are plenty of opportunities to get those CLPs in. On Monday, March 8th at 5 p.m., there's a CLP titled River of Life that will include a presentation on the incredible true story of Dang Majuk Chol, one of the lost boys of Sudan. On Tuesday, March 9th, there are 3 CLP opportunities that evening. The first one is at 5 p.m. titled Behind and Beyond Bars. This CLP will discuss the spiritual health and general well-being of those incarcerated at a maximum security prison. Following that, there is another CLP at 6:30 titled Amplify at Furman Kinds of Kings. That will feature an interview with the Kinds of Kings Composer Collective, a group of multifaceted composers who are committed to building a positive and supportive community around the creation of and the experience of new music. Also at 6:30 that evening, there's another CLP opportunity titled Justice in the Food System. This CLP will include a screening of the film Right to Harm, which discusses environmental racism and justice issues in food production. Seniors, don't forget you need 32 CLPs to graduate, so make sure to take advantage of these opportunities. Good news for the class of 2021 and 2020. We're going to host in-person graduation ceremonies. The graduation for the class of 2021 will be held on May 8th, and the class of 2020 will have their graduation on May 15th. Both ceremonies will be held at Paladin Stadium, and COVID regulations will be in place. If you're interested in a technology career, you will want to attend the Technology Career Panel hosted by the Malone Center. The panel will be held on March 9th at 6 p.m. If you want to get in on the conversation with experts in the field as they discuss how to be successful and advance your technology career, then register in advance by using the URL you see on your screen. You have the opportunity to elect new student body officers in the upcoming SGA election. Asha Marie and Rosie Kim are running for president. Running for VP are Drew Washington and Josh Swope. 2 Emilys are running for secretary, Emily Miller and Emily Enlow. Running for treasurer are Emily Capetta and Marquis Nickerson. Paladins, you can vote beginning at noon on March 8th, and voting closes at 6 p.m. on March 9th. 3 weeks ago, student government approved a handful of new clubs on campus. One of them is the Rubik's Cube Club. Here's Hadley Robbins with the story behind the Cube Club.
In quarantine, I was bored and I just really wanted to learn how to solve it, and then I kept getting faster and faster and learning more algorithms, and the more algorithms I learned, the faster I got.
Abby Wildston enjoyed learning and solving the Rubik's Cube so much that she wanted everyone else to learn, so she started the Furman University Cube Club.
Every side of the cube has its own face that is always the same. This is always going to be the white face. This is always going to be the blue. So when you solve it, you solve according to the center pieces.
In the first meeting of the Cube Club, the members were taught how to solve this cross right here. According to Abby, you want to get the white side first. So the first step in doing that is getting this cross. And then from there, you get the corners, which will be taught in next week's meeting.
I've always wanted to learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube. I think it's a really cool skill to have. And I love puzzles and things like that. And this is definitely a challenge. I'm excited to be able to solve it and to be able to solve it quickly, because I feel like that's such a fun thing to be able to tell people.
The club meets on Tuesdays at 7 p.m.
You can join on LinkedIn, and you'll get the email notifications with the Zoom link, but the first couple meetings are all intro meetings for the novice learners.
Within just 1 week of the club going live, more than 50 members have joined. Sounds like a pretty popular club if you ask me. Well, that's all I've got today. We've had a lot of sports going on since everyone's season kicked off, so let's go to Cole Neely to see how Furman has been doing.
Thanks, Zach. And what a week for sports so far. So we're going to jump right into some highlights, starting with women's lacrosse. In their home game opener, they took on Liberty. Lamont scores an easy goal, and that's swag throwing a stick like that down, girl. Liberty and goalie doesn't know where the ball is, and he just rolls in for the score. Then Tino shoots a pass to Bill so she can get another score. The Lady Paladins pull off a big 10-8 win over Liberty. Now, on the football. Paladins run a tunnel screen. Sisson throws the ball to the right to Wayne Anderson. He makes one guy miss, and it's a foot race into the end zone. And he throws up the deuces for a touchdown. Nice little celebration from the center, Evan Jumper. Wayne gets the handoff, makes two guys miss, runs through one, and mama, there goes that man for 13 yards down the field. Sisson drops back and steps up. He flushes to the right. Defender's high on his heels, and he gets rid of the ball and throws it to who? Nobody but Zach Peterson for a tightrope catch on the VMI sideline. VMI quarterback drops back and throws the ball, and it's picked off by Darius Kearse. Y'all know that boy locks it down. Despite all the plays made, the Paladins lost a close game to VMI 14-13. As we continue to profile our amazing athletes here at Furman, it's time we talk to preseason All-American Devin Wynn. I got to know a little bit about the man who is the Paladins' leading rusher. Devin Wynn, the 6', 200-pound running back, is a dynamic runner on the field. He has appeared in 32 games and has currently rushed for 2,301 yards with over 20 touchdowns. Wynn talked to me about how he became a Paladin.
They came into my recruitment later in my senior year, and once I took my visit, they made me feel like this was the place I needed to be.
Devin told me that being the leading rusher on the team was a great feeling, and that he wants to thank the coaches and the players for believing in him, for getting past his 2,000-yard rushing mark.
It's a great feeling. It's an honor. It just shows how much respect and how much trust I have from my coaches and from the players that surround me that has helped me get to this certain point. Because, not too many people can say they've done it. So it's a blessing and an honor just to be trusted with so much, from my coaches and from the players around me. The goal is, as of right now, in 8 games, it's hard to, get 1,000 yards. But, if you strive for the best or strive for the hardest goals, you often surprise yourself. So for the team, we still have a lot of ball ahead of us. And our goal right now is, just to focus and get back to what we know so that we could put ourselves in a better position to, compete for a championship and, make this run at the playoffs.
Be sure to watch Devin play this Saturday against Furman University at 1 p.m. If you ever played Madden, he's literally like a human joystick. We've heard this name a lot lately, Noah Gurley, number 4 on the men's basketball team, influences the game in many ways, and scoring is one of them. He recently became the 47th player in Furman men's basketball history to score 1,000 career points.
Blessing, to be honest. I got to give thanks to God first. And then it's just cool to be a part of Furman history. Since I've been here, I've seen multiple players get to that 1,000-point mark, like Jordan Lyons, Matt Rafferty, Clay Mounts. So it's just cool to be mentioned with some of those names.
You can watch Noah this Saturday on March 6th at the SoCon tournament in Asheville, North Carolina. They'll be taking on VMI. The women's tennis team has been breaking program history this year. Kaylee has a story on that.
This week, I wanted to profile a Furman women's tennis player who not only has sparked the women's tennis team to be ranked 23 nationally, but also has a background of her own.
My name is Katarina Kozarov. I'm a 5th year this year at Furman University, and I'm from Novi Sad, Serbia.
Katarina is a powerhouse player who is honored as an All-American, has been ranked 13 nationally in singles, and has received many more honors. And it all started when she was just 4 years old.
I get so competitive. Who's going to be smarter on cold that day, and who's going to be calmer in certain situations to prevail, right? And that side of learning a lot about myself, learning about the game every day and getting better, it's nothing like it in the world.
But Katarina admitted that she wasn't always a powerhouse player. Her coach had a heavy influence on the player that she is now.
He showed me that no matter what, there's always a way. There's a way to push through. There's a way to prevail.
And under Coach Herendeen, they have been ranked 23 nationally.
Being part of making history at Furman, it's a priceless feeling, and I couldn't be more proud to be just a part of it. And we feel like as of now, whether the ranking here or not, we feel like we're right there with these teams, and there's nothing we can't do together at this point. So
Katarina has big goals for her team in her last year at Furman, but she's already begun on her plans for after, as she started last May on playing professionally.
I will definitely get back on the tour, and start off hopefully have a successful professional career.
We wish Katarina the best of luck in the rest of her season at Furman and in her professional career.
This is Kaylee Coleman with Nightly News.
Thanks, Kaylee. And on top of being ranked nationally, it was announced on Tuesday they are also the UTR ITA National Team of the Month. Congratulations to Katarina and the entire women's tennis team for their hard work. Did you miss last week's games? We have you covered. Let's check out this week's scoreboard. Men's basketball defeated the Citadel 72-63 and lost to Wofford by 1 with the score of 74-73. Women's basketball defeated Wofford 58-52, and women's lacrosse defeated Liberty 10-8 in their season opener. Men's tennis lost to Georgia State 1-6 and came back to win against Kennesaw State 5-2. Women's tennis defeated both Charlotte and Kennesaw State this weekend with scores of 4-1 and 6-1. Football unfortunately lost by just 1 point to VMI with the score of 14-13, and volleyball lost to UNCG 1-3. Men's soccer got a win against Upstate 2-0, and softball defeated South Carolina State 11-0. And before we depart, we just want to give a quick shout out to Megan Marvin, Madeline Cadeau, Cameron Ponder, and Adam Boigler on their SoCon championships they won this past week. Way to run, guys. We're so proud of you, and go Dens. Now, we thank you for joining us on this sports segment. We look forward to seeing you on the next show, and be here so you can see high-flying highlights and our Dens continuing to kick butt all across the field and on the court. Thank you, and back to you, Zach.
Thanks, Cole. Mark your calendars, because a date has been set for the unveiling of the Joseph Vaughn statue. We'll gather in the new Joseph Vaughn Plaza on the library steps on April 16th at 1 p.m. for the unveiling of the new sculpture. The statue was created by California sculptor Stephen White. Everyone is encouraged to attend the event, with masks on and socially distanced, of course. Hopefully, we'll see you there. That does it for this edition of the Nightly News. We'll leave you with some beautiful scenes from our campus. Have a good week, everyone.